Hello, humanity. It's an honor and privilege to be back with you today. Yes, I know I've been away. I've been away for quite a while. Things have happened. The last week was particularly difficult, but I've gotten through it and I'm here now. Actually, if I'm being honest, yeah, I've realized a lot of things. Well, for those of you who don't know what has happened, let me paraphrase the situation, the story, if I may say so. It started about a month ago. It started with a woman. I think you can guess the rest. Yeah, so that happened, and there's an entire podcast episode about that. I go into complete detail. I recorded the entire thing while I was on the verge of a breakdown. I actually had a breakdown while recording it. It was a lot of fun. But the important thing is, I've gone through hell and back. It's something that I did by myself, But this time I had people around me. That's the interesting thing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not completely fine yet. I'm still a little raw around the edges, kind of vulnerable and all that stuff. But I'm in a much better state compared to last month, compared to last week. Yeah. It's difficult, man. I don't think I'm ever gonna go into a full story. I might write songs about it, but yeah, this is gonna be one hell of a journey from now on because I've realized that the work that I've put in, that all the work that I've put in is not enough. I still have a long way to go, and so here we are with all these realizations. It's gonna be one hell of a ride, man. Moving forward, it's gonna be one hell of a ride. So that's the thing. If you want to listen to what exactly happened, wait, I will give you a quote that will kind of summarize my entire story. Okay, so to quote one of my favorite books, which is still not complete by the way, God damn you, Patrick Rothfuss, it's been years, man, but in the time that I've read your book, almost 10 years have passed, man, and I'm still here, and I'm on the verge of writing my own book, and you still haven't come out with book 3. I am so annoyed. I might be, I might be, slightly, what's the word for that? What's the word for that? God damn, I forgot the word. I'm forgetting the word. What's the word? Oh my god! My god! Let's see. The word. I. Fuck, I don't even know what I'm talking about now. I'm gonna have to. Oh god, this is hilarious. Alright, so Patrick Rothfuss wrote this brilliant 3 book. It's supposed to be a trilogy. He says that it's actually a sequel to an entire world. It's a prologue to this entire world that he's writing about. But I highly doubt it because this book has been out for a couple of decades. These series have been out for a couple of decades. I finished reading the second book in the series, which is The Wise Man's Fear, about in 2014, 2015, man. It's 2023 now. In the time that has passed, I have started to write my own book. I've learned martial arts. I've gone on this entire journey, this character arc that his own character has gone through. Now, granted, I have not been able to play songs that evoke certain feelings. I cannot, for example, sing colors to a blind man. But I've gone through an entire hero's journey myself, and I'm probably going through one right now. Am I saying that I'm the hero? Well, I'll never tell. Who knows? This could be my villain arc. So yeah, the story of February. I trooped, traveled, loved, lost, trusted, and was betrayed. I told my whole damn story in a single breath. Write it down and burn it for all the good it'll do to you. I should read that book again. I think I'll really appreciate it. This is one of my favorite books. It's also tempered by a seething annoyance that I've never been able to complete the series. A lot of people are getting bitter about it because this guy is going on and on and on about how book 3 is coming out soon, very soon, very soon, but it's never out. Yeah. That's my story I loved. It's weird, man. It's been a while since I felt so strongly, and I think I've spoken about this before, but having come out of the entire situation, I just look at the entire thing. I heard this quote. It might have been attributed to Nietzsche. I'm not quite sure, but something about love being a sort of madness that destroys, and that is apt, my man. That is so apt for the moment, for the things that I've been through. I lost myself, dude. And I spoke to a friend, and he had me one thing to say. Like, she must have been beautiful. I mean, he did use all the words, but I was like, yeah, she was. He's like, take it as a lesson, my friend. This is the first time you dealt with this kind of a situation. Learn from it and move on. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. You know what? Adversity is the strength of a good man. Any strong man is one that has gone through pain and struggling and tribulations. A person who hasn't gone through it is not going to be a strong man. And it's funny because my entire Instagram is now filled with quotes and with reels about heartbreak. And I'm not really in the mood to see all that stuff. But every once in a while I do kind of get carried away and I end up listening to that stuff. I'll end up watching a lot of reels. It's difficult, but I'm trying to find my center. I'm getting back to the center now. All right. Now, I think I've said this before, but when I was with her, I became just a man. You will not really know the significance of what I just said until 10 years later, or maybe until I leave this mortal plane. So, what I'm trying to say is that the past 1 month has been incredible. I enjoyed it a great deal. It was beautiful. I met so many beautiful people. I had so many beautiful experiences, and I'm glad that it all happened. There might be pain, there might have been a great deal of pain, but that doesn't take away from the fact that beautiful things happened. And I felt amazing while it did happen. Now, there's always this quote about whatever goes up must come down. If I have to put it, whatever begins must end. Unless you are anadi. Yata adi asti, antah cha asti. Where there is a beginning, there is also an end. I've become very philosophical. No, man, I've always been philosophical. And I just want to say this, but this particular episode is going to be me rambling. I haven't sat in front of a mic and gone off on tangents in a very long time. It feels good to be able to do that. I have nothing planned. I knew what I was going to be talking about, like, at least in the beginning. I kind of realized that, yeah, this is going to be... I did promise to explain the situation because I haven't been posting videos. It's been 2 weeks since I posted a video about what's happening. It's not ending. I just want you to know that. It's just that I've been going through stuff and it doesn't matter anymore. I'm back. I'm a strong man. You must understand that. I'm a very strong man. You will not... It almost sounds like I'm trying to convince myself. Oh my god, it's been a while since I had such a nice laugh at my own stupid jokes. But yeah, man, so that's the situation. I had this wonderful story. I'll write about it someday. It's going to be part of... This is one of those events that you're going to remember for a while. You know? No matter what happens, it's... You could say that this is one of the defining moments of my life. Not the fact that I lost. That's not the thing. It's just there are so many learning experiences here. And maybe I'll put it all together, like I said, I've been doing a great deal of journaling. I got extremely carried away with all of the emotions, and there's so much that I need to work on, which is brilliant because that means I can be better. I thought I had reached this apex, and to be fair, it sounds very egotistical to say this, but I've done a great deal of work on myself. I know how much I've improved, especially if I look back. Like the person that started reading the books King Killer Chronicles and the person who's going to reread them now, there's like a whole world of difference. They're not the same person. And that's one of the main reasons I ended up leaping at the opportunity to change my name when one presented itself. It's because I am not the being that used to exist at the same time. Now, after this particular event, there's going to be another quantum. I am so excited. I am so excited to see what the future holds. I know that I'm going to do great things. It's going to be brilliant. So, the other couple of insights that struck me and that I wanted to share right away is that you need to be careful about the intentions that you put out into the universe. Whether you're praying, you're writing things down, even if you make jokes about certain prayers, about what you're asking from God, if you believe in God or the universe, or if you're manifesting, whatever it is, if you're slightly on the spiritual side and the believing side of things, be very careful about the kind of intentions you put out there, man. I had jokingly made a post about how I had asked for a heartbreak by the end of the month. This was in Feb, which was around the time that I had met her. And when I met her, I was actually going through this craving thing with another person. I've spoken about this before, but I have a very big heart. It's capable of a great deal of love. Oh, God. Yeah, I can love the entire universe, man. I have so much love to give all of y'all. I have so much love. And somewhere in the back of the room, is that the reason you cheated on me? Is my girlfriend crying, like, is that the reason you were found in the bed with her? I can't believe. I'm sorry, yo. I'm just. It feels good to be back, man. I haven't had this kind of clarity. It's difficult to see. No, wait, let me explain this. I was so confused around a week ago. It's been 2 weeks actually. Sorry, it's not a week ago. It's been 2 weeks. I was so damn confused. And now I am back. The amount of clarity that I have is brilliant. It's an entire shift in my perspective, and I'm enjoying this entire sensation that I'm going through right now. And that's what I wanted to tell you. That's what I wanted to share, right? Be careful about the intentions that you're putting out into the universe. I made a joke about how I asked God for a heartbreak at the end of the month. This was in Feb. I posted it around the beginning of Feb. And I joked about how God delivered early. And I, at that time, did also make like a comment about, so be careful about the kind of intentions that you're putting out into the universe. Be careful about the kind of wishes that you make. Be careful what you wish for, because you may get it. You almost definitely will. That's my situation right now. So, a lot of lessons, a lot of learning. I'm incredibly grateful for everybody who has stood by me at this particular situation. I'm freaking back, man! That's the best thing. I don't... Oh my God, I feel so light. I feel so centered. I feel amazing. I feel like we could take on the fucking world, man. Oh, man, it's brilliant, man. This is the Christ University version of me coming out, man. There was a woman that I loved, and they used to call me Jamaican. And we had this joke back in my group, and we would all go, Jamaican me crazy, man. They would say that to me. They would call me the Jamaican. It was this whole shtick that we had. Oh, good times. It's almost been a decade. It's hard to believe. Time flies, dude. And as time flies, people will come into your life and people will leave. Some of them are meant to stay. Not all of them are, but At least be grateful for the memories, be grateful for what happened, because it did happen. Yeah, man. So I don't know if you can hear this in my voice, but there's stability, calmness, presence. I I mean, I still like the girl, sure, but it's not the intensity. Honestly, I was scared, dude. The only reason I stepped back from the entire thing, the reason I stopped hanging out with her was because I was so damn scared. This is what happens. Like I said, like a long time back, I'm a very passionate individual. I'm a very passionate individual. I'm very intense. I don't like toning myself down. I'm incredibly passionate about the things that I do and I live life with that same vigor. I know that I'm here for a good time and I don't want any regrets when I leave because I'm not coming back. I've said this many times to many people, but this is my last time on this mortal plane. I think I'll hand over my responsibilities to another individual and take a break from the whole karmic cycle for a very long time, dude. It's brilliant. It's such a wonderful game. But I think this is gonna be my last time playing for a while. To be fair, the universe is infinite and infinite timelines and infinite things. And if the opportunity does present itself, I will come down again and help out. But because it's so tempting. I did promise and all of that stuff. It is my oath to help when help is required, and that's why I'm here. But I'm leaving a lot of Easter eggs in this podcast. It's gonna be so funny when someone finally figures it out. This is podcast number 37, no? It adds up to 10. Interesting. Wow. The coincidences on this are so insane, man. I have a huge smile on my face while I have a huge smile on my face when I'm recording this entire thing because I know that this is gonna be super funny in the future when finally someone figures everything out and they see the breadcrumbs that I've been leaving and hinting at. It's oh my god, it's gonna be so much fun. Yeah. So I was saying that life is a game, and every once in a while I get too damn attached to this character that I'm playing. And I think that might have happened now. I don't know why, but I guess it can all be attributed to beauty. Yeah, that's enough, man. There's so much you can speak about. I mean, to be fair, wars have been waged, progress has been made, our entire civilization has progressed to this point because of our need to satisfy women. We won't admit it, but to keep our race going, we do need women. And I've always spoken about this. I wish we could work together. We're not adversaries. But the way this modern world is going, feminism is teaching everybody to hate. Oh, man. It's. But I understand the entire situation. This is the Kali Yuga, it's the age of darkness, it's the age of ignorance. Despite the fact that there are people working to raise people out of ignorance and out of these dense vibrations. Oh, I don't think I've made such a spiritual faux pas like that before. These dense vibrations. Oh my god. I'm not going to talk about that any further than absolutely necessary. But just remember this, yeah. I don't blame women. I don't hate women. I understand. It's okay. I have said this multiple times. I give this advice to every single man and woman that I meet and counsel because I have a lot of knowledge. I hate saying this. It sounds like I'm tooting my own horn here, but dude, it's difficult to talk for hours and hours and give some quality content, I believe. I have decent gems of knowledge I've collected from various sources. It's not all mine, I'll admit. I'm just collecting and I'm passing it on. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, to be fair. Okay? Just maybe the way I'm presenting it is new and unique because I'm collecting from so many sources. But literally speaking, I am standing on the shoulders of giants. Most of this stuff like 90+% of it is not original. It's just that I've studied and I've gotten certain insights and I'm sharing that with you. All right. And this particular insight comes from Patrice O'Neill, and I've been listening to him a great deal over the past couple of weeks, trying to get my mind back into that stage. You know, you gotta pimp your women, that kind of that kind of a mind state, yeah, because it's important. People won't understand that, but you gotta have that frame. Dropping a lot of interesting tips here, but essentially what I was trying to say is that this idea comes from Patrice O'Neill, and he says that it's always the man's fault. It's always the man's fault. And I've spoken about this to multiple people, and I'm not going to divulge the philosophical bit of information that I always add on to, because it's not for everybody. I will probably do this in person when the opportunity presents itself and the person is willing. But I don't just open about the second bit to everybody. Suffice it to say that the man is always at fault for everything that's going wrong in his life. And I accept that. It's my fault. Whatever went wrong because of me. Either due to my lack of action, due to my lack of action at the right time, or the wrong actions that I've taken. And I accept that, I admit that. My present reality is a result of my past actions, and my future reality will be the result of my present actions. I accept that, and I highly advise every young man to do the same. Alright? I'm gonna get a little more philosophical. He who has a why can bear almost any how. This is a quote from Nietzsche. Now, I will admit that I have a great deal of trouble spelling that, but at least I can say it right now. Say the name right now is what I mean. There's a comma between right and now. You know I'm back when I start making these dumb jokes, dude. There's a reason for why I make really stupid jokes too, but I'm not gonna reveal it. So, my entire point is that you need a sustaining purpose. You need a goal, something to direct you, something to push you on through life. You need a why. Because if you have a strong enough why, you can bear anything. I almost forgot my why, and it took some time to get back to, oh, yeah, dude, that's my why. There's no point sitting here moaning and bemoaning the fact that this particular event didn't happen. I have a greater purpose. I need to fix myself. And that's why you might have noticed, even in that state, even though I was in that pathetic state, I put out an episode of the podcast. Here's a bit of unasked for and unwarranted honesty. I broke down on the podcast. When I spoke about certain things, I spoke about how this year began with me parting ways with a good friend. And that's why I had to put this podcast online, because there's nobody I could burden with this. Although I did find a beautiful group of people who were willing to listen and just be there, because that's all they needed to do. I did find that, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. Thank you to all you guys. But my point is that I can't believe I just got a Discord message, especially when I was talking about my friend and I used to be on Discord all the time. Anyway, yeah, my point is that for a while I forgot myself. I lost my way. There wasn't anybody I could speak to, and because of that, I started venting to the podcast. It was very therapeutic, I will admit. I don't think I'll listen to that until I'm fully out of the woods. At the moment, I am clear. My mindset is back. I'm making stupid jokes all the damn time. I'm laughing randomly. So that energy is back, you can tell. I do have that, I lapse into my faux Indian accent every once in a while when I'm being, sarcastic and shit. Like, for example, right now, I put on, I have multiple voices and all that stuff. So this guy is back. The person that you've always known, the podcaster. But when I was doing that particular episode of the podcast, it wasn't like this. I was very dull. And I did it nevertheless to remind myself. And when I touched on certain topics, right, dude, I broke down, man. I had to cut out quite a bit of the podcast, which is why that podcast is quite short, to be honest. A great deal of that podcast was cut out. In the beginning, I think it might have been around 30 minutes in itself. I might have got like 10 minutes of worth. I'm not particularly sure of the details. It might have been less. But I had to cut out like a couple of minutes in between because I broke down. At that particular time, the sensations were very raw. It was very raw. It was very painful. God. But this entire experience has taught me so much, dude. It's interesting. It's interesting beyond belief that despite all of my knowledge, I still ended up falling like this so fast, so far, so much. Wise men say only fools rush in. But I couldn't help. Honestly, I couldn't help it. What a roller coaster ride, man. But I'm better now. Like, I think I've said this multiple times. I'm way better. So yeah, that happened, man. It was such a brilliant experience. I was brilliant. I just want to say, like, at this point, I'm mulling over all of the possibilities. I have certain theories that I'm not going to voice on the internet. I'm going to keep it to myself, right? But I am so happy that all of this happened at this particular period of time. It was raw, it was sensational, it was phenomenal. I've left with a newfound appreciation for life, for the people around me, and for women and for beauty and all of that. I know. Yeah. I think that should be enough for the podcast today, everybody. I'm glad you joined me. I didn't really say much. There's a bunch of insights that I'm willing to share once everything settles down, but let's summarize it. Appreciate life, appreciate what you have. Appreciate every single moment. Take risks. Tell that girl that you love her. Do it. Go for the kiss, even when you're scared. Live life to the fullest, no regrets. No regrets. I'll never forget that, dude. Yeah, so... And in the end, just be careful what you wish for. Be very careful with your words, your intentions. I've realized now that I need to be a lot more parsimonious with my speech. I need to be extremely careful about what I say as well. And I'm trying to do that. Words have power. Just remember that. Whether you write it down or speak them, they have a great deal of power. Yeah? So what I'm going to do is sign off for the day. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. I had a wonderful time today. I'm back, bitches! This is going to be so freaking awesome, man. The person I'm going to be in 6 months, dude. Just watch. Wait and watch. I'm going to make you proud. Yo! This is to the me listening a year from now. 6 months to a year from now. Bro, remember this, okay? Remember this. I'm proud of you for working so damn hard. Alright? Yeah. Good job. You deserve everything that you're getting. And you're gonna get it. This is for everybody who needs to hear it, man. Go out, live life. Life is short. Enjoy it. Take pleasure in everything, even the pain. You need it. Because without pain, you will never appreciate the beautiful things. You will not appreciate pleasure. Sounds like such a sadistic thing to say, but yeah, that's about it for the day, everybody. Thank you for joining me, everybody. I will see you again on the next episode of the We Are Not Lonely podcast. This was brilliant. I love you all. Peace. Until next time.